Hello everyone, Treecks here, and welcome back to Mega Man 2 Part 2. Not to be confused with another Mega Man 2 Part 2 I already have on my channel. But that was the NES Mega Man game, and this is the Game Boy Mega Man game. We're still in the middle of our little adventure through all 5 of the Game Boy games right after each other as weekend projects. The first one already completed in just 1 weekend's time, and hopefully we're also going to be able to do that with the second game. We've already gotten ourselves a good start. The 3 robot masters at the bottom right over here have been taken care of, and now only 1 remains at the top left. After getting the air shooter from Airman, we are going to take on Clashman with it, who's actually the final one of round 1 in Mega Man Roman 2. Let's go see what this stage is going to be this time around. Comparable to the one in Mega Man 2 on the NES probably, but also different enough to actually call it a new stage. Speaking of air shooter, oh yeah, we also got Rush Jet of course. And this is our air shooter, just like in Mega Man 2. A couple of tornadoes got thrown by Mega Man, are going to be used to kill Clashman quite quickly. Rush Jet I'm going to show off later, that's going to have a bit of a more practical use later on. So that one we're going to see anyway. And in narrow corridors like these, it's not a good idea to use it anyway, so don't mind me if I actually save up on that for now. Let's quickly take care of Clashman, because I want to get to the next part of the game. And things really get interesting. Similar to all other Mega Man games we've been playing so far, the beginning part of the game, all the robot masters in round 1 you might say, which is always 6 or 8 in the NES Mega Man games, and only 4 in the Game Boy games. But still, one thing is the same, both on the NES and the Game Boy so far, and that first part of the game is always really easy, at least compared to how difficult things usually become later on. And this part I can actually cheese with Rush Jet now that I see it, so let's show it off here. I told you it was going to get a practical use later on. Not really a cheese, because first of all the game gives you the ability to do so, and second of all, I only skipped a bit of time, because that part with the platform did not look all too difficult. It just would have taken a bit longer. Oh, and the right side of the screen is actually not continuation. Oh, that was an energy ball. And I almost landed on the spikes as well. Nice. I would actually use Rush Coil over here, but I don't have that, so let's use Rush Jet in order to get back up here, get myself some energy. And then make use of it again, because I see the first energy tank in the game. Thank you! 1 energy tank. Accounted for. Usually I don't use them until the final part of the game. Try to save them for the final couple of stages and of course the final boss. Making sure not to die there. Usually that's the point in the game where you want to spawn all of your energy tanks. So, like always, try to keep them with you. Don't waste them in the early parts of the game. Even though you can always go back into stages again the moment you've cleared them in order to pick them up again. That way, grind yourself some energy tanks if you need to. Usually I don't feel like doing that either, so I'll just try to save up on them and take my game overs if I happen to die in earlier stages. Right now I have 3 extra lives, so game overing is something I don't really have to fear right now. It's something we'll be meeting up with a bit more in Mega Man 3, I think, because that game is a lot more difficult. And speaking of difficult, I see another energy tank, so let's make it a bit easier for myself. The energy ball I don't have to pick up because I'm full health. And that would be a waste of time. Let's climb even further. Oh, here we have... whoa! Thank you for surprising me, sir. Here we have some weapon energy, I wanted to say. Oh, come on. Not fair. Yeah, it's a bit difficult to actually get through this guy without being hit. But anyway, I have more than half of my health, so I should be fine, since I have my air shooter. First boss fight of today's episode. Mega Man vs. Clashman. Part 3, because we've already fought him twice in Mega Man 2, of course, on the NES. And now we're seeing him again. With his good old trusty bombs that he's going to drop Luckily in a very predictable way, and therefore this is another Robot Master that is, in all honesty, pathetically easy to defeat. Although, I ran out of weapon energy, so I can't use the air shooter anymore. I'll just simply use one shot with my Mega Buster and you're still gone. And that was the final Robot Master in the first part of the game. Giving us the final ability, of course. Just like in Mega Man 2, we get the Clash Bomb. And Rush Coil also gets unlocked after beating this stage. We've already met a couple of instances where I could have used it, but we just get it now. Now that I think about it, Clashman is also not per se a bad stage to start with, because of him also being an easy Robot Master. But anyway, after taking care of all the robots that Dr. Wily left behind, it is time to actually head towards his underground base. Yeah, it's an underground base in this game, I know. Just following the story, it's not like I made up the story. But here he is, Wily. We've been dealing with you plenty of times already, but yet again you're going to get stopped. Although, we actually get thrown into a bit of a special room by him. We fell into a trap and we get 4 special doors now, as you can see. So here are the next set of Robot Masters, the next set of stages. Interesting how it's not a menu this time around. The one here in the top left is going to be Heartman stage. On the top right we have the Topman stage. Bottom right is going to be Needleman. And here on the bottom left we have Magnet Man. Yeah, you heard me correctly. Those are indeed Mega Man 3 bosses. I did actually mention before that this game actually released after Mega Man 3 on the NES, didn't I? And therefore, the Robot Masters we're going to be dealing with in round 2 are actually Mega Man 3 bosses. Very interesting that we get a mix-up of Mega Man 2 and 3 right now. Even though it's the second game on the Game Boy called Mega Man, the game definitely knows it released after part 3 on the NES, so it also makes use of a lot of features from that game. Not just Robot Master, but of course also our slide move, as you may know. Well, it's time for us to actually take on this Needleman. Hopefully also going to be able to do 3 Robot Masters at least in this episode. Just like I did in the previous one. And therefore, we're not going to waste any time. These ones are going to be a bit more difficult, of course. But not per se longer, I feel. The length that the stages actually get in Mega Man 4 and 5 on the Game Boy, those are lengths that you don't really see in these earlier ones, Mega Man 1, 2 and 3. Starting from 4, we're going to see a lot longer stages. Can already promise you. There, I doubt I'm going to be able to actually do 3 stages in one episode. There, it's more likely going to be 2 per episode. The final 2 are definitely also Mega Man games I'm not going to be able to do in one weekend. Not just the stages are longer, but just the games themselves are also a bit longer. But for now, we're not going to worry about that. Mega Man 3 is probably going to be next weekend. If I'm going to be able to do this one in 3 parts, or even less. Not giving away how much we still have to do. We are already at Dr. Wily's underground. Hello, I cannot reach that jump. Rush Coil, where are you? First time I'm going to be using you. There we go. No, there's something down here. There's also something up there, but let's go see quickly. Yeah, there's energy up there. I'm not going to waste any time actually getting it, if you don't mind. I could use it, I know, but need to go all the way around again and don't feel like returning there. No, 1-up. 6 1-ups already. Reminds me of an earlier Mega Man project I did. I believe it was Mega Man 3 or 4 on the NES. Not sure which one it was. Not the final one, but one of the ones in the middle, I think. 3 or 4, I thought it was. Where I also got way too many lives at some point. Actually maxed out my lives at some point even. Would be funny if I'm able to do it on one of the Game Boy games as well. Not going to be Mega Man 3, I already know. That's probably the most difficult one of all. I think I want to go left actually, that looks like a bit more tricky of a route. Probably has better rewards. Oh yeah, of course, a 1-up. That is not a very good reward, because it's not like we already have enough of those already. In that case, let's just continue. Not worry about the thing. These things were easily avoided. It would have been more of a challenge if there were more enemies to actually face here. Just these things coming from the ceiling, that's not per se difficult. Ouch, by the way. Well, I'm allowed to get hit at least once, so... I'm not going to care. I still have some health left. Oh, you also make an appearance here. Throwing around your balls. Weapon energy. I can use some for rush coil. So let's jet away there. No. And get it accidentally before being able to switch to the other rush. Oh, nice. This looks like a kind of robot I'd much rather ignore than defeat, actually. Although he could drop an energy ball, I know, but it's probably going to waste more energy than I'm actually going to gain, if I gain any. Well, Needleman we're actually going to be taking on with the Airman weapon, in case you don't know. Some of the weapons we got from the Mega Man 2 Robot Masters are going to be effective against the Mega Man 3 bosses. And the air shooter is actually one of them against Needleman. It looks like I'm going to be defeated for the first time. Just be careful. Whoa, whoa. Apparently getting hit by needles does not do a whole lot of damage, so I was able to survive. This was the first boss where I was really close to actually dying for the first time. At least against the boss. I do know I've died before in the project. It's not a no-death run anymore, but I'll try to keep a no-death run when it comes to beating the Robot Masters. And that is still going. We get Needle Cannon for beating Needleman in round 2 of Mega Man 2. So, we return to our main menu. Still interesting how round 1 is actually played in menu. And here we just picked them as Mega Man ourselves. Even the main menu has now been turned into platforming. Platforming is everywhere now in Mega Man. But anyway, we have the Needle Cannon, so we're going to be taking on Magnet Man next. That's actually placed on the bottom left, according to my notes. I'm going to assume they are not lying. And let's go see how difficult Magnet Man is this time around. He's brought us same robot leggies, of course. These magnets actually floating over us, being able to pull us up. And giving away, Mega Man is indeed a good robot. He's made out of metal. The magnets work on him. We can actually kill these guys if we use the air shooter that's able to actually shoot upward, of course. But there's no need. Usually these guys are not per se a hindrance. Let's get started with Magnet Man, shall we? It's not like we just did a try where I made a silly jumping mistake. That, of course, never happened. Yeah, just remember, the moment these guys pull you up, you're not able to jump anymore because you're basically already jumping. So don't press the jump button when you're in the air. That does not work anymore. That was really dumb. And what is not dumb is an energy tank that I can pick up. Making the final parts of this game really easy. Because I've got so many by now, 4 of them, as you can see. If I'm able to keep all of them until the final boss, there's no way I'm going to die against him. Dr. Wily can try all he wants, he's never going to get me down. Let's go try out our Needle Cannon on you, shall we? Need to use it on someone at some point. Needle Cannon is actually one of my few favorite weapons to use, even outside of boss fights, because of not using a whole lot of weapon energy. Oh! Jack in the Box, help. Although downside is it's not per se that much more powerful than the Mega Buster, so... Still a good bet to only use it on Robot Masters that are weak against it. Like Magnet Man, for instance. Yeah, here we go. Bit of health. Next room. Oh, wow. Oh. This looks like a dancing room in all honesty. Let's go time this correctly. Wait for the second one to pass and shoot and kill. be careful, there's a magnet over here as well that will pull you to the right. In a similar way that Airman also had these robots that pulled you. And this time around they are magnets. Oh, these things again. I was almost ready to actually start using Rush again in order to climb this tower, but this way it also works. Ow. That guy up there is really annoying, so let's get rid of him. We can use the air cannon in order to shoot upwards, like I said. And this time around we do want to use it, because this enemy is just way too annoying. Let's climb further. Yeah, of course we're going to get more of this. This time around it's actually more of a horizontal challenge. I do love the sounds these things make on the Game Boy. Oh, too early. Way better than on the NES. Come on, Rush, I need your help. Ah, stupid platformers making Rush glitch out. There we go. The whole reason why we get Rush. We can also use him here, but here we need to use Rush Jet if we want. But this time around I'm able to do it with the platforms. I'll only use Rush the moment I get tired of the platforms. Oh! Stupid platform. I was rushing it way too much. That's what you get for actually bringing Rush along. You actually get to rush yourself at some point. And that is never a wise idea in hard platformers like these. I could actually try to speedrun these kind of games, but these are also the kind of games that if I try to speedrun, I'm going to end up dying 15 million times. I can play Mega Man, but only if I do it carefully. These games I don't want to rush, so please be careful with these platforms. Don't immediately jump on them the moment you see them. Because you never know how long they've already been there. Here we have another energy tank. It should actually be the final one that I'm able to carry for now. Just to see if we can actually pick it up. I need to go around in order to get to it. Kill the metal. Energy tank. Yeah, 4 is actually the maximum you can carry. Interesting. And therefore this one is already wasted. It looks like there's room to actually carry a 5th one, but it seems 4 is the maximum. Let's try to keep all of them for the final stage. Hopefully not waste a single one. Ow! Stupid rocket. Should be able to be destroyed. But anyway, here's the final of this stage. The Robot Master. He's going to be weak against the Needle Cannon, so do him after Needle Man. And it's time to take on Magnet Man. Makes a return from Mega Man 3 on the NES. Appears on the Game Boy's second game. This move of course also returns. Easy to avoid. Just walk in the same direction as they're coming from and they will always miss you. Of course you can walk against Magnet Man if you do so, but especially since he starts jumping afterward. Going in the opposite direction is usually a bit less effective, I feel. Oh, I was already on my last hit. Did not realize that. Well, there goes my no death run against Robot Masters as well. Also not a very big surprise. And always keep in mind, just like in other Mega Man games, you don't heal your weapon energy the moment you die, so be careful. If you waste too much weapon energy in a fight that you're going to lose, you also are going to miss that energy in the next chance. Luckily the Needle Cannon barely uses any weapon energy, so it shouldn't be a problem with this weapon. I've got plenty of ammo left for you, Magnet Man, sir. One more hit. And there we go. And that was it. Another episode complete. Approaching 20 minutes, another 3 stages done. This is perfect. Let's bring along his weapon. Might be useful in the next episode actually, so... We once again get the Magnet Missile. We are successful yet again. Let's return to Wily's castle underground. We still need to find the special Robot Master that he actually brought from the future. Like I mentioned in the first Mega Man game last week, it is of course a thing here on the Game Boy games that every single Mega Man game will have a special robot for us to face. Perhaps after we take on the last two of the Robot Masters here that make a reappearance from Mega Man 3, we're going to be able to face the one from this game. And that might be very interesting to look forward to. See you guys in part 3 of Mega Man 2 next time. Not sure if that is going to be the finale, because without giving any spoilers, I can't really say how long this game is still going to take. How much more is going to be after these two Robot Masters. But I will see you next time anyway, and Treecks out.